Yeah, welcome to this video. 15-minute game, and the choice. I want to play a normal, yeah, exactly, a normal Alechine's defense or Alekhine, whatever defense. I tried in recent games, but somehow they always played knight c3. So this e5 is normal, of course, on move 2. Yeah, this opening I recently saw in a video series that is done by chess.com, called so-called blitz death matches, where some players play blitz against each other in different time limits, 3-minute, 5-minute, and bullet. And that was used to good effect by Grandmaster Alejandro Ramirez from the US. I think he's now playing for the US. At least he played in the recent or last year's US Championship, and he had quite good positions with this opening. In this match he had against Indian Grandmaster Neji. Yeah, what White went for here is the so-called exchange variation of this opening, this e takes d6, and c takes d6 is also possible here. But this is, I think, slightly problematic due to one or two lines. And e takes d6 has taken over in a way as the main move. But I'm not an expert on this opening. I don't want to sound like I know I know very much about this. Okay, Black's got all his pieces out, which is nice, and it's got some play against the center. White is, of course, very solid in the center. You cannot expect to win any of the pawns quickly. But this type of position should only be good for a slight advantage for White, I think. Yeah, White cannot advance the center, of course, because the b2 bishop is hanging. Knight d2 is a move I didn't expect, because it looks slightly passive. The knight isn't doing anything active on d2. Yeah, a direct way to play this here would be a knight b4, just threatening the very crude bishop c2, which would win material. Yeah, knight to b4 also might allow me to play a move like bishop on knight to d3. Does knight b4 have any serious drawback? I don't see it at the moment. Bishop c2 is quite annoying, and knight c2 might be a problem as well. Knight b4 a3, I just go bishop c2, and it should be quite good for me. Yeah, I don't see a drawback to this move. This is the difference to knight c3, for example. If you would have played knight c3, then knight b4 could have been simply answered by rook c1. Also, White could have played a3 simply to rule out this possibility with knight b4. And maybe this would have been a good idea. yeah, I guess this would have been much better. I don't really know what what to recommend here. Rook e1, there's bishop c2. I mean, he doesn't have many moves, really. My threat is bishop c2, queen c1, rook e2, or bishop c2, queen e1, and then I can play bishop d3 or knight d3, both winning material. Yes, this is also... But still bishop c2. Yeah, bishop c2. After queen e1, knight d3, the queen is trapped. And he needs to play bishop takes d3 and give up his queen. Or bishop d3, just bishop d3, recapture, winning the exchange. That's actually something to consider. Maybe it's easier to grab the exchange than win the queen for some pieces. Often it's easier to win with an extra exchange than with some other material imbalance. Yeah, okay, this was the alternative and probably the better move. What now? Knight d3 doesn't really make much sense. He can take on c2. I can, however, consider bishop d3, but he can just take and queen c2 again. And the simplest is just to take e2. Yeah, probably I should do that, but it's after rook takes e2, a takes b4. The bishop on c2 needs to move again, probably. I mean, it looks like okay for black, but maybe there is something better here. Yeah, I don't see anything better. Let's take here. And after a takes b4, the question is all the way back to g6 with the bishop, or is there a move like bishop d3? But bishop d3 doesn't really have any big point to it. Yeah, all the way back. Yeah, and now as a result of this operation, it's a position where I've got the two bishops, and he's got a somewhat damaged pawn structure. The pawns are not so weak though. It's not a very big problem. Okay, let's exchange here. Don't think queen e7 or queen e8 is of much benefit. The problem is what move now. What he likes to do actually is to play d5, d4, d5, get rid of those bishops. The bishop on b2 isn't a good piece. And the question is, should I go d5 myself? At the moment he is not threatening d5, obviously, as b2 is covered. But just strategically, d5 looks like the right move. And the knight on b6 is, of course, rather bad at this moment. It should be regrouped, but yeah, one move to pay attention to is knight to e4, where he intends to maybe grab the f6 bishop and make sure that my bishop pair is gone. Also b4, b5 can be a move. Yeah, it's not so easy. It's tricky. Which kind of move orders are good here? I play c6. c6 prepares d6, d5, therefore fixing this pawn on d4. And it also allows c takes b5 in case he wants to go b4, b5. On knight e4, I can, amongst others, just take bishop takes e4 and d5, which should be a admittedly slight advantage for black. With the better structure, he's got the pawns on light squares and he's got the worse bishop. It's not terrible though for white. What white can try is to improve the position in a way that on d6, d5, knight to e5 is a possibility. d6, d5 for black weakens the e5 square, so this is a possibility. What I could do is I could try to improve the b6 knight. This knight is not so great. Possible ways to improve it are knight d7, f8, e6, knight to e6. Well, attacking d4 should be good on e6. Or I could also try a knight c8, e7, f5. I like knight to e6 more. The knight on f5 somehow doesn't really work well with the bishop on g6. However, that bishop on g6 can easily be exchanged after knight e4. Yeah, maybe knight d7 and so on. Yeah, okay, this is the concrete direct move. So what now? I'm not sure how to proceed here. I can of course take and play d5. I mentioned this before, and it should be good for slide edge simply because of the better structure. But it's not clear that this is really the best way to go about that. If I play bishop e7 with the idea to play d5, there's this issue of knight c5. So let's say bishop to e7, white makes a move, rook d1, rook c1, something like that. And after d5 he goes knight c5, attacking the b7 pawn. So I'm not sure that bishop e7 is good. Would otherwise be rather typical, just retreat the bishop, secure the bishop pair, and then improve further. It's not bad probably, but yeah, I can also play d5 now, after which he probably will take f6, and then this is opposite colored bishops. Also black should be slightly better, but it's nothing spectacular, of course. Yeah, I think I'll take e4. Well, it doesn't feel like the best move somehow. Wait, what? Bishop e7. Let's think about this briefly. I think I'm threatening after bishop e7 taking on e4 and then d5 attacking b4. This could be something. But he probably can play a move like bishop c3, right? Just protecting. Okay, I'll keep it simple and take this. I have the feeling there was something better, but okay, you need to move at some point, just due to time constraints. Yeah, still this knight on b6 is not the greatest piece. And white might go b5 at some stage. Yeah, should I play a6 here, or do I have some strengthening moves? As long as the a file is open, it's difficult for me to move the rook. So let's go a6. Oh, this is quite surprising. Freezes the pawn structure. Okay, knight to c8, e7, f5, or knight to e6. I mentioned this before. It also could go to b5, but b5 is very one-sided. Let's go to e6. The problem with this structure is that it is freezed now. It's frozen now. d4, c5, b4. Those pawns are on dark squares and they'll stay there. And he's got the bad bishop. That's probably not the end of the world, but certainly not great. The position, however, is very closed, so it's not clear that this is yielding me anything really substantial. So how to make progress? Yeah, probably queen to c7, rook e8. I need the rook on the e-file. Yeah, he will probably just go rook e1, rook e2 and stay put. It's still very solid. I mean, c5 surprised me. It's not a move that I probably would have played myself, because it looks rather, yeah, it somehow admits that you're just trying to hold on to a draw, but it's probably not so bad. Yeah, this move queen c7 maybe looks like I want to play knight f4, but knight f4 wouldn't really help much. Yeah, it's difficult to make any substantial progress here. Can go rook e8, of course, and yeah, he's seems a bit afraid of this. Knight f4. Okay, the rook needs to go to e8 anyway. Yeah, how to improve? Really not so easy. Maybe I need to regroup even more. The queen on c7 is not really helping. Maybe go here. Yeah, what ways do I have to improve this position? I could go g6, knight, g7, f5, again to f5. Trying to tickle the d4 pawn somehow, but it's attacked at the moment. So this is rather difficult to see how black is going to make some headway. He maybe intends bishop f4. Bishop f4 to e5, something like that. Yeah, it's not not at all easy to prevent. Yeah, maybe I need to set up this entirely differently. Okay, let's try something else. Getting the bishop to c7, and maybe trying to use the pawns on the king side. I don't see how I would be able to make any progress without pawn moves on the king side. Yeah. Yeah, but what about f6? Just f6? Yeah, I can just play here. And bishop c7 next. So the idea now is to interesting. Puts even more pawns on dark squares. Maybe queen f7 to h5. Or queen f7, g6, f5, and just getting near the king, and maybe later push pawns. h4 wasn't really necessary, not quite sure. Aha. Yeah, this is a concession, really, in more than one way. If I take on f4 with the knight, bishop takes, rook e1, queen e1, bishop f4, g takes f4. He's got a very, very weak pawn structure. And in fact, queen g4 is a possibility instantly, but he's got king f1. They cannot take f4 because of queen e8 mate. So this is a problem. But if I take on f4 with the bishop, what is he responding? If he takes with the bishop, I take with the knight, and he cannot capture with the queen because the rook is saying so. This would be the same position just with rooks on. And shouldn't this be good for black? Yeah, let's go. Yeah, he can take with the pawn, but this is a disaster from a structural point of view, and probably even is punished concretely. I would just play the knight back, maybe to d8 even. Okay. Yeah, d8 to f7, h6, f5, and of course there's just queen g4 threatening. Now I've got a great knight against yeah, the most most stupid looking bishop on e3. Yeah, and there's queen g4. The problem here is that also any end games. Knight against bishop with queens on, with queens exchange are just dead for white. The structure is simply too terrible. Oh, he wants to exchange queens. Yeah, the question is there something better? Even because his king is isn't so great as well. Yeah, maybe go here. Let him exchange on f5. He will probably take anyway. So I would like to exchange rooks, of course. Would make it even simpler. At first, I just attack d4. I mean, oops. I can take this, right? Yeah, don't see why not. He could have played rook d1, but it's really a grovel, this endgame. Rook d1, I can take e3. Okay, so how to continue? f5 and knight e6 maybe, or knight e6 instantly. Yeah, this is also good. b4 is hanging, and I'm not sure how he would defend this. Bishop d2. Okay, let's just grab it. Yeah, okay, I don't like that he can exchange the bishop, but it's 2 pawns by now, and now it's 3. Yeah, it's even b3 gets lost now.
White resigns.
Yeah, it was slightly more comfortable for black, but this knight f4 move really helped enormously. Here, go back here. Here, this move. I think if white pretty much doesn't do anything, then it's still some work for black. It's somewhat more comfortable because white doesn't have any idea in the position, and black can improve, like queen here as mentioned, or maybe later after you activated the queen you can even try to push pawns here on the king side. This here probably just loses, and maybe knight f4 was even better. It's possible. I mean, this leads to a very clear advantage. But let's check this briefly. He needs to retake. What I did, I calculated this,
Check.
and of course I can play just king f7 with a big advantage. But I think what I played also was very convincing. I mean, take here. If he takes with the bishop, then we have this position, and now there's even rooks still on, so I have a bit more options. Move like rook e4, for example. Not sure that this is great, but I have more options than in the other line. And okay, he didn't want that, so he took with the pawn. And this is the kind of one-way street position that we got in the game, where he's got basically so many pawn weaknesses, and this big pawn on e3. It's not defensible really. Yeah, he could have taken d4 immediately. Okay, but it's sometimes in those positions they basically win itself, and you just make the automatic moves. Yeah, he could have played rook d1 here and hang on. I must take on d4. This is much simpler. I missed that 2 times. So rook to d1 here, and then I was thinking about this and
Check.
this kind of stuff where the h pawn is beginning to move, and white is simply tied down to the weaknesses. Yeah, I played just the technical way, but of course I should take on d4, and it's probably much quicker. He still has got the weaknesses, and it's a central pawn. Yeah, thanks for watching.